back to Mind Trick Media, and today, it's New Year. You guys knew this was coming. This is the Mind Trick Media Top 50 Character List. So, if you've seen past videos, we went over a certain website company Top 50 Character List. Today, we made ours. It's better. No. So, yeah.
Significantly different.
Yeah, there's characters that a lot of the people who worked on that one probably don't even know who they are. So that's fun about Star Wars. And then, on top of that, yeah, we're just better. So we're going to hop into this list. We'll see how long this one goes. No clue, but it's going to be a fun one.
For starters, we did not include characters. This is all canon, by the way. Canon list. We didn't include characters like Bane, like Darth Bane, the father, the son, characters like that.
And before Yoda's, he did say canon. We understand that those are semi-canon. Sorry. We did not think it was fair to add those characters and to throw on top of those Revan and Plagueis. They're both technically referenced in canon. We're not going to add them because...
Well, it's like saying, all right,
they would be very high on the list.
you have characters that are the embodiment of the light side and the dark side, and then the balance of the force. Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna
place anyway. So
yeah.
And I want to start this off by this was hard. Like, there's characters that I never even really thought about. Like, is this character better than the other until today? And
yeah,
some of these, and I would say like one through 4 is like a complete lock. 5 through 15 literally could go anyway. And then after that, I think 20 through 50 could go about anyway. So if there's a character that you feel strongly about that's below a character that you don't, like, we feel certain ways about characters, other people do. We tried to take a lot into consideration. Their live action, their most likely Clone Wars or Rebels, how those characters play, how much they matter in the story, how much they affect. We tried to. So there's going to be some characters that are on this list that a lot of people are probably going to argue with us about, but really,
and it also just sucks because it's like
what this character did, how long they were on screen, and not exactly how much you just like them.
and it also sucked because like we were on 50 for a minute. Who was this 50th character? And it was rough because we had what, like 10, 15 characters that were discussed for the 50 spot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plus.
Yeah, at least 10 characters that were in consideration for the 50th spot.
And I also want to say, Star Wars is a massive franchise. 50 characters, no matter what it is a fuck ton. And to intertwine and change around and try to get these characters to match up is a lot harder than what you would imagine. It's not as clean as simple as that. So
we've been doing this for 3 hours today. We already had the characters down, and we went through it for 3 hours before this.
In a not great way to explain it, arguing for 3 hours, flipping characters back and forth at least. And we'd already been arguing for 3 weeks about where like 2 or 3 of them went. So, yeah. So we're gonna get into this with number 50.
Number 50. Mon Mothma is our number 50 on this list.
And she was a late addition to the equation.
She was. She wasn't even. She was like one of the last people we said, because we had characters like. I'm gonna throw some. Should I throw characters under the? No, I guess I can't because that spoils later.
Yeah.
So you can't even say them, but we can go over those 10.
We could say a couple characters that are like that we definitively think, and then like we could throw in the one that's a little saucy. So for example, basically the two that we were down to were her and Bail Organa. He did not make the list. He was very close. I do think, honestly, if you had him between 45 and 50, I wouldn't even be mad. But
Right.
for us, he did not fall into that.
Yeah.
I know one thing in the back of my mind that I don't even know if I said. I don't like the recast. I know it's not their fault. They didn't recast someone bad. I hate recasting. It sucks. Don't like it. But whatever. I know this is technically a recast, but at least it's like a younger version. Like, we have the Bale of this era, so like it's weird. But
Yeah.
do you want to say the saucy one that we left out?
Well, if it's 100% what I think it is, we left Grogu off this list.
Grogu did not make the top 50.
Well, like when
I know people are gonna have a problem with that.
I mean, when we made the original list with the 50 characters, we put like what you said 58 characters on it originally. He was like the 15th person set, like low key, like somewhere around there. And we just kept going through and be like, all right, we have our lock at 8, and all right, let's like it was like kind of top 8 was like kind of a lock. And then we were like, all right, is this person better than this person? Just went up the list as we kept going. And then he just kept sliding back.
And I will say with Grogu, a lot of what kicked him off the list is that we did not take into account. We actually used it against people for potential to be in something else. If a character is finished, I feel like we weighed them heavier than unfinished. So
That is true.
by saying that, the Rebel crew, the Thrawn series characters. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much more, but
There is a character that is
in that place that may be up and down just because we don't know how the characters are going to finish, and that's
there was a character
scary.
that is super high on our list that we had to weigh that with as well, where it was like we're not quite sure how this is going to go.
And I'm not gonna lie,
So
I don't even know who he's talking about because we had 4 characters like that, probably in the top 20. So
yeah, there's one that's up there for sure.
So, Mon Mothma, I think she's a really good character. I thought Andor dramatically helped her character out.
I think so too. And then like the Mon Mothma like transitioned from Andor to what we see in Rebels, like the speech that she gives, just chills. Just hearing the speech from her, phenomenal.
Yeah. The only
yeah.
knock I had on Mon Mothma was that drugged out dance she did at her daughter's like weird
I was, I was trying to find a picture of her to put on here, and I literally couldn't. I was like, there, all of them were her like at that party, like drunk and drugged out, and I was just like, nope, can't put that.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to 49. At 49, we have Tech, which we had him on this list, took him off the list, and then put him back on the list.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties with Tech. So, this is a character that's
Tech,
polarizing because, I mean, you can go ahead if you want.
yeah, I mean, so another character that unfortunately did not make this list was Echo. And I think there is some clones that are there's some clones that are going to be more involved than Tech or Echo. And we were sitting here like, is Tech better than Echo? And at the end of the day, I think Tech had more screen time than Echo. And then, God love Echo. They go back and save him. They go back and make him a part of the crew, and it's a whole big deal, and I love that. But I didn't really care for Tech, and then Tech giving up his life for the crew. I can't. I don't think I did. I don't think I cried. But Jesus Christ, I was as close as you could be to cry when he gave up his life.
Tech is in such a weird spot because, and like I guess it related to Echo just because we were talking about it, but Echo didn't make this list because I feel like most of what makes Echo a special character was everyone else doing things to make Echo a special character. If that makes sense. Like when we when he was a clone, he wasn't the best clone in the 501st. He wasn't probably the fourth best clone in the 501st. And then we have this comeback story, and then he is immediately the worst character of the Bad Batch still. Like,
And it's unfortunate
I
for
even
him.
fought times where I'm like, do I like Omega better than him? Who did also not make Bliss. He's just a weird character because I never felt like he ever fit in anywhere. Like, even when he started fitting the Bad Batch, he dipped. And it was like, oh, okay. He's gone. So, I think his robotic arm made him cooler, but it didn't make him much cooler.
Yeah, and then like you said,
love Echo, though, but still.
yeah, and then like you said, the thing that did it for me was he becomes a part of the Bad Batch, and he's the worst one, sadly. It's like you made these characters, made them super cool, and it's like, all right, Echo's just a clone. And it's like at that point, like he's kind of just not there. And like you said, he's not good on the 501st. And it's like, all right, it just kind of sucks for him. So he was a consideration, but unfortunately did not make it.
And I want to stop here and promise this list is going to go quicker. We're sorry. we were kind of excited to show who did and didn't make list, and it's going to get better from here because we're going to be able to go quicker and kind of just be like the back and forth that we went through. But yeah, so we're kind of getting out of the phase of people who did make the list and more into who did and where they're at. I'm so excited because I would love for people to be absolutely pissed about this.
All right, the next one I think is the one that is gonna raise some eyebrows, make some people mad. So,
no, dude, it's not, because my boy belongs here.
At number 48, we have Jar Jar Binks, and I chose this picture intentionally to just kind of be like, yeah.
You know what? I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling it. He is number 48. Jar Jar
Yeah, I mean,
is the most overhated character maybe in any franchise possible.
just ever. Like, I don't even like. I can't think of a character that people hate as much as him. To be honest, I really can't.
There's definitely probably some. There definitely is some, but
I mean, for the reason why they hate him.
yeah, man.
He's annoying.
You guys just hate like your little cousin that you don't like. That's who it is. No? God, he's got a nice set of teeth on him too in that pic.
But yeah, Jar Jar, dude.
Like,
Jar Jar.
This dude's a swipe right. If I saw this picture, I'm swiping right.
You're ridiculous. Love Jar Jar. I wanted him on this list so bad. He almost. I mean, to be fair, he almost slid off of it.
Yeah,
But
I mean, and dude, honestly, if you could give me if someone in the comments could give me another 50 characters, that's a lot. But like another chunk of characters that you legitimately think, remember our parameters, that you legitimately think are better than Jar Jar Binks, I would love to see it. And if I'm wrong and we missed people, yell at us. I'm not gonna read no. I'm not gonna take the slander, but I'll take the slander.
all right, moving on. Another character, I believe he's at 47. That is just hilarious to be on this list.
Mr.
Hondo
Onaka.
Anaka.
Love Jim Cummings.
I love all the pirate stuff we get in the Clone Wars. Dude, like to talk about a pirate. This is a pirate. I love it. This pirate in the Star Wars galaxy in the middle of space. He is the pirate. Love it.
I'm not younger than I used to be, but I am older.
Love Hondo.
I remember the first time I saw an episode that had Hondo in it, and I just went, "What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing?" And then he kept popping up, and I kept not being mad that he popped up. And I think that's the story of Hondo Anaka. I think him and Jar Jar probably, and that's the one thing. If you love Hondo Anaka but then hate Jar Jar Binks, you're a hypocrite.
Low key, yeah.
You're a hypocrite. Like, we can't get fun on drugs characters, but we can get serious, like, stealing characters on drugs. Like, they're both just on drugs. It's just two different drugs. Like you can't be mad at the potheads, but then be cool with the crack addicts. Like I don't
Jesus.
know.
Okay, moving
Next,
on. Number 46. We have Wolf.
so Wolf is a weird character that aura carries him.
Kinda, because when we had him on this list, it was early, and he slid and slid and slid, and I was like, "Damn, is he gonna stop sliding at any point?"
I would love an entire like section of a show to like really develop Wolf better. Because obviously, I mean, number one name fire, helmet
Well,
fire. His
and just
his
the and just the wolf pack in general.
yeah, dude,
Like,
what a cool ass group that we don't get enough of.
yeah, not at all. Wolf, though, I mean, Clone Wars comes back in the Bad Batch. You have him in Rebels. He's one of the few survivors with Rex, and we see Rex in the Bad Batch, like trying to save all these clones and everything, and he's one of few that makes it all the way to Rebels. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that just shows enough for Wolf to
Excuse me.
remain on this list.
Yeah.
And he's just, like you said, the aura around him is
Just
insane.
aura. We're gonna say that a lot.
Number 45, we have Django Fett. And this may or may not upset people, but just thinking about like canon and what we see, like, sure, there is probably canon that's like reading and books and comics and stuff, but like, I don't think the weight of Django is enough. I don't.
Yeah, his background story is better than his main story, and and where his character goes, and it's very sad because I do think this character could be way higher on this list, but we
Mhm.
have to take an account. We're not talk. We can't include Count Dooku going after him to find this guy. We can't include any of that, and then the next time we would be able to, he gets his head cut off, and it's just he fell like a lot. Like his best scenes are him in a cat and mouse chase with Obi-Wan, and then like he's
Yeah,
dead. It's it's tragic. Probably died a little quick, but I think it was to
yeah,
show the superiority of a Jedi Master and a Jedi Councilman. So, yeah, it's tough, but
yeah. Unfortunate.
still
I personally, I might get shit for this, but personally, I like Django better than I like Boba. I like him more,
Boba
but
pre Boba Fett show. Like we talked about when we were doing this. He might be the only character in history that got his own show and became 100 times worse. How is that possible? He went from being like a nobody aura, and even in the Clone Wars had tons of aura. Even as a kid, he was
as a
literally
10, it's like
as
a
a
10-year-old.
as like yeah, dude, like a 10 to 15 year old was leading a group of bounty hunters, and then
Yeah,
he gets swallowed by a sarlacc, and then he just forgets he has aura. One of the yeah, well, we'll get to it.
yeah, but unfortunate for Django, but he fell.
Yeah,
So, number 44,
Embo.
we have Emba.
So I love Embo. He's probably my favorite bounty hunter, which is saying a lot because I feel like there's him and another guy that are one and two for me. The other one may or may not be on this list somewhere, but uh, he's just dude. He's got so much fucking aura, and then like I know at one point when they're at that like lodge in the snow, and he just takes his helmet off and starts snowboarding down the mountain. I'm like, this dude, it's cinema. How good of a character, and like, there's a chance we get more Embo. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And then also his like little pet that he has. I don't really know what the creature's called, but I think it's cute. But yeah, dude,
His
Emba,
weapon is dope. Like
yeah,
he's such a dope character.
he really is.
Just look at this dude aura farming. This is a Star Wars samurai right here.
Yeah, yeah, I think he hit it spot on. Already, number 43,
Hu Yang.
Hugh Yang. And to be honest, he is a lot lower on this list than I thought he was going to be. Um, because whenever we talked about like droids, like top droids, it's like he's up there. But then we talk about characters, and it's like, damn, like he's really not up there.
Dude, and that's something I almost wanted to say with Embo, where Embo I think is probably a top 5 bounty hunter. He's number 44. Hu Yang's a top 5 droid that has like his own personality. He's 43.
Yeah,
That's
it's wild.
fucking crazy.
Like you said, we were making this, and we're kind of like the grouping of these people, like somehow getting close together on this list. It's kind of weird. You'll see that. Like these are two characters, like, yeah, sure, they have nothing in common, but in their respected areas, like you said, top five of their respected categories so low on this list. It was kind of insane. Probably get more of Hugh Yang in Ahsoka, um, Heir to the Empire.
Yeah,
We'll see.
and he fell into it. He fell into he could have a bigger story, and that's where he
Hmm.
kind of he gets knocked down away because I feel like I know how his ending could be, and I think it's going to be good. But he's at a weird point where he has like one Clone Wars episode, and he has a couple Ahsoka episodes. But
Right.
while we see him, he's fantastic.
Right. And back in the Clone Wars, building the lightsabers with the younglings, like characters like Gungi. The Gungi's a good character. Like all those characters, good characters that aren't going to make a top 50 list, but like incredible arc.
And
And
honestly,
Hugh
you're
Yang's
lucky Genji didn't make it.
and Hugh Yang like is a part of that. And it's like, yeah, he's got really good story within there too. But unfortunately, he's just low on our list. Let's move into 42. Master Luminara.
Yeah, honestly, lower than what I thought she was going to be.
See, I didn't think that. She's about where I. That's about where I thought. Like when we start going through this list
Yeah,
and we
dude,
start seeing some of these characters that are on here, we're kind of like, yeah,
yeah,
I
but
think
like
this is where she is.
you watch an episode with Lominara, and then like you think about it, and you're like, yo, there's 40 people in this shit better than her, and you're like, no, there isn't. Come on. But then like you do it, and then you're like, oh shit. If she's
Right.
the 42nd character, like
Well, that just goes back to where we've talked about the Clone Wars being the best thing in Star Wars. Like you get to have characters like Luminara mean something so significantly more than just another Jedi.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well said.
moving on from there, we got number 41. We got Wrecker.
I need
Um,
something to blow up.
um, you really struggled with putting Luminara behind Wrecker.
Wrecker's so
And to me,
tough because he's so
and
dumb.
but like, dude, like the weight of what Wrecker has and the time period where we get him right before Order 66 through Order 66, they don't execute, and then he executes and starts going against his team. And like, dude, like stopping Wrecker was very difficult for this team to stop. And I don't know, I he's an airhead, it's a meathead, but dude, he's such a lovable character. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and like I feel like something with Wrecker is like I feel like sometimes like the idea of Wrecker, the heavy machinery, the bombs and the strength, sometimes is like inconsistent. Like there are times
Yeah,
that I
that
was
it.
like, dude, just bull rush him and throw that fucking plane, like that fucking starship at him, and then he like,
Well, yeah.
does
If
something that I was like, bro, he got bitched kind of right there.
um the um the Escape Pod podcast has talked about this, and they were like, when we see him for the first time in Clone Wars season 7, he picks up a starship, and then like he gets his ass kicked in like the Bad Batch. And you're like, what?
I didn't
Like,
even know they talked about this.
yeah. They were like, the power scaling is broken with
Yeah.
him. So, I mean, I do agree there, but the meaning of the character and the meaning of the story
I mean, dude,
is a part
everybody
of.
loves a big dumb guy. That's great. It's some of the
Right.
funniest shit.
Yeah. Okay, moving on from there, we have number 40.
Quinn.
We're 40. we struggled with this one a lot
Yeah,
because
his book carries so much.
he it does, and
He's got like two Clone
re,
Wars episodes.
he on screen, Quinlan has like not shit, but his canon book was Ventress and trying to turn the tide of the Clone Wars by executing Count Dooku. Insane, like weight to the story that
Go
not a lot
watch
of
that
people,
episode of us.
yeah, that not a lot of people know about. We did cover the episode. We turned a 14 and a half hour book into about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So if you guys want to hear about the story, fantastic story. I almost cried reading the book. So yeah, like the weight of the book is so significant that I think he deserves to be on this list. But the lack of screen time is why he's so low on this list.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean,
So,
I mean, if you just look at him, very cool design of a character.
oh yeah,
Um, background, if you haven't watched our episode. Sorry, I paused for them to go watch it. No, he's a Jedi Master, which I didn't even know until the book, if I'm being completely honest.
yeah,
And he basically does a bunch of. He's undercover constantly, as because he kind of has this look. His old uniforms, the old clothes. He hides in like what we would consider like dive bars, and like tries to stop crime and stop these bounty hunters, and um, he's a very interesting character. And then throughout the book, we learn more about him and his ups and downs and his left turns and right turns, and kind of made him like a significant, like he probably wouldn't have made this list without that book.
no,
And
absolutely not.
I know we get this snippet of him in fucking Tales of, but that can go fuck itself. I hate that. Um, cool to see him back in that art, but I hate what they did. But that's for a different fucking episode. Um,
We already covered that
yeah,
on the Tales of the Underworld. Is that what that was?
yes, which they
Yeah, Tales of the
stole
Underworld.
from George Lucas.
Yeah,
Anyway, number 39,
awesome. 30.
Bosk. Another badass fucking bounty hunter. He's another one that's, I think, underused too. Where he fucking awesome, cool character design. He was in that group of bounty hunters in Empire Strikes Back that we get to see some good Clone Wars, some good stuff in books about him too. He's higher than Embo, even though I think I like Embo better. I think Bosk is a more known character and a more used character. Um,
Yeah,
and
dude,
yeah,
the arc with the missing Jedi. I think it's called Missing Jedi or Missing Youngling or something like that in the Clone Wars, where it has like his species and they just hunt like people that they capture.
yeah.
Dude, as a kid, watching that scared the shit out of me.
He's a
I would have
scary fucking character.
I would have nightmares over that shit. Like,
And
not even gonna lie.
I just want to say shout out Star Wars video games. Fuck this guy in Star Wars video games. If I get fucking gassed one more time playing a Star Wars video game by this motherfucker, it's gonna piss me off. He was such an annoying junky character to play against, in especially Battlefront. Oh my god, dude, I hated playing against Bosk. But yeah, dude, just the aura of him holding that gun with his fucking claws. Look at that shit. He's hitting
Yeah.
like a pull shot. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So
he definitely sniped somebody there.
yeah.
All right, so moving on to number 38.
Sabine Wren.
Sabine at 38.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Ahsoka knocked her down on this list. Like the show.
Ahsoka did knock her down on this list.
Um,
We have a story arc where we kind of don't even know, where we have like kind of just like, oh, they told us that Sabine's been going through like Jedi training with Ahsoka, and I mean we kind of get to see that in Rebels with Kanan, but like that was like first of all one of the coolest moments of trying to teach a non-Force user how to use a lightsaber. and the meaning of using a lightsaber versus not. Um, the amount of like willpower and spirit to go into using a lightsaber versus just picking it up like a sword and using it. I loved it in Rebels.
Yeah.
But then we get Ahsoka, and it's like, okay. And we talked about this before, where I think, okay, like bounty hunters got to have like a higher metachlorian count, which is makes them more agile and this and that, like maybe a better shot. And their metachlorian count might be higher than a normal person, but like having like straight up force abilities, and granted, she doesn't have any like super ones that we've seen so far, but having a character that Kanan could have taught this whole time just to give powers to kind of is like, all right, what can't anybody do in Star Wars? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
And
something that makes her interesting too is that, well, I was gonna say too is that the thing with the Ahsoka show is that I getting stabbed and surviving, I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I
the only thing it's doing is showing that um like
it's
technology and
letting
stuff.
it's letting Ray, like, we all know what it's for. It's letting
It's
Ray's character make sense. um,
that, and then it does show that technology's gotten better, but it's just like, can anybody die?
yeah, like you
Like,
have to explode, I guess.
yeah. But
But
so at
number
the end
one,
of the day,
this armor she has is aura farming as hell.
yeah.
This armor's fucking
Um,
dope, and then she gets rid of it.
I think if they keep Sabine where she's at right now, I think it's fine. Fine. Not great. It's fine. If they try to do any more with her as a Jedi, I'm not going to be very happy about it. Like,
Yeah,
this is like max, like, she's a Mandalorian, right? We talked about the bounty hunter thing and like having extra or more metachlorians and shit like that. Like, okay, she's a Mandalorian. I get it. It's fine. But like, you go beyond force push and force pull, I think it's too much. And it's just not right.
yeah.
Not with everything we go through in Rebels, and it just like all of a sudden, like, no, that's not how that works. So
And I was gonna bring up too, like the guy who created Rebels has actually come out in the last couple weeks and months and been like, yeah, I don't love that. The idea of her character was not for her to be trained as a Jedi, and I think that's abundantly obvious while watching Rebels, which it falls into another one of those things that I still think, even with the super nerdy fan service that I think the Ahsoka show has been, the people running Star Wars still like don't understand it. Even in small things like this, because the entire point of her character learning simple like Jedi forms, or not Jedi, but lightsaber forms, is for her to be the ruler of Mandalore and to be able to use her dark saber as the ruler and try to take her world back. And I don't think Kanan was ever gonna train her, because I don't think that's her path. And to hear the Rebels creator also think that, like, it concerns me a little with some of the directions that Star Wars goes, even on a small scale at the moment.
yeah. But I mean, with that being said, her at 38, everything in Rebels phenomenal. Her as like uh kind of an abandoned Mandalorian and being a part of the Ghost Crew, like having a family,
And it being
then
like
and then
a higher tier family in
right,
Mandalore.
and then all the intertwining of the Ghost Crew with her and the Mandalorians, phenomenal. All that's phenomenal. Rebels, phenomenal for Sabine. Outside of that, a little shaky. It's okay right now. I wouldn't go any further with it, but Sabine from Rebels, significant.
Also, want to say Marcel Sabine for the first time at Rebels. Childhood crush. Next.
Number 37 on this list. The Mind Trick Media top 50 character bracket list. At number 37, we have Shakti.
So,
the lady that has died 17 different ways.
So before we start talking directly about Shakti, I do, and this picture is a perfect picture of something that I think that Star Wars has fucked up and they haven't gotten right. So sorry for bitching again. Am I wrong to say that she's the same species as Ahsoka?
I'm 99% sure that they are.
Okay, cool. They are messing up Ahsoka aging. And her body head forms not changing as she ages.
Yeah,
Look
so
how
we get
long these things are from
Yeah,
age.
we see it in Rebels to Ahsoka where like the live action Ahsoka that they get smaller. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay, that's not
and in Rebels, they are longer than what they are in the Clone Wars. And they're
yes.
going in a right direction. And then live action came out, and they were like, and obviously, it's probably because the headpiece probably weighs a lot, it's probably uncomfortable, it's probably hard to shoot with, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck.
There's deleted scenes of Shakti from Revenge of the Sith, and it's there.
Yeah.
It's not this long. It's not this long, but it's better than what they did with the Ahsoka series.
And if you've ever seen some of
That
those videos of Shakti, she does fucking look weird. I'll give you that. But
I just thought of a character we forgot about on this list.
like a bad one?
Kinda.
Okay.
Like, oh, I'm kind of upset.
Well, we can't say it now. You just gotta text me.
I'll just send it to you.
I mean, I'll be honest. I just thought of one too. That probably you're gonna also be upset about. So we're just gonna not talk about that.
Yeah, we fucked up.
Um,
Okay. But I still think our list is great. So we're going to continue on with this list. Shakti, phenomenal. Her in overseeing the clones training, great. Love that. Love when we see the 501st as the Domino Squad for the first time, basically. Love it. I don't like that you just texted me. Oh, that one's bad too. That one's bad too.
so what we're gonna do?
Damn.
Is we're gonna make an honorable mention to a couple. No, they didn't make it. Sorry, you weren't thought about.
I mean, to be fair, they are side characters. Granted,
Honestly, I think
significant.
those are more likable. I don't know if they
I
would
do
have
think
made the list
they
and been high.
they could no, they could have been like from 40 to 50 for sure.
Yeah.
But are we gonna say them?
I don't know if it's gonna help us.
All right, let's
Honestly,
let's keep
I would
moving.
rather see if people can guess the ones that we missed.
Yeah. Okay, so far we have two, so we'll keep going. At number
Honestly, I thought of a couple.
okay, at number 36 on our list, we got Andor, which is probably super low comparatively speaking to some other people's list.
See, honestly, they're lucky he's even on here. So no,
So the weight of him with the rebellion and all that shit, yes, fantastic,
the acting,
phenomenal,
fantastic.
phenomenal.
He
But like
doesn't mean shit. No.
comparatively speaking to so many other people, and then also in Rogue One when he dies, could have gave a shit until Andor came out. Could have gave a shit.
Dude, honestly, if Andor never came out, he wouldn't be a top 250 character.
Top 250? Is that what you just said?
I could name 100 clones that I think are better than him.
Oh, if we're talking clones.
Until Andor came out.
Yeah.
Don't
I mean,
get me
for
started
real.
about Jen Orso, who definitely didn't make this list.
Yeah. But with the Andor show. It definitely moved him up a lot. Fantastic acting, fantastic writing.
Grew a
Um,
beard.
Unintentionally started the rebellion. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Um,
Never got to meet his
yeah,
kid. Sad. He had all the
yeah,
parts.
yeah. I respect it being here. So, number 36, Cassian Andor. Number 35 on our list, Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. She was a tough character that got moved around a lot, and
She did.
it's because she's a bitch in um, everything that she's in. So she's a she's a super big bitch in the fucking Clone Wars. But she does have aura,
Dude,
and
this
I,
scene
I
has a
think
fuck
she's
ton of
I
aura.
think she's only gotten better as a character, which is usually not the case.
Yeah, especially with like live action, like Disney Star Wars, and
I don't know.
has gotten better.
I can't think of the actress's name, but I love the actress that they picked for this.
Yeah, I
Her
do too.
her reaction on that podcast talking about how Favreau and Filoni lied to her and said that instead of it being Luke, it was Plo Koon coming back. Like that whole thing is super funny.
Yeah, it is.
So
But yeah, Bo-Katan, I mean, is she the leader of the Mandalorians? I don't know. That's kind of wishy-washy.
they broke the dark saber, I think. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Um, yeah, she definitely deserves to be here. Her Mandalorian days being a part of the Watch, right? Was it the Watch? No.
You asked me too quick.
The Watch is from fucking um what's the show you really like?
What the hell are you talking about?
Uh
No, she's on the Death Watch
the Death Watch, okay. The Watch is from
and the Night Owls.
yeah. And her helmet's awesome, by the way. The owl and the helmet's awesome. So um you got anything to say for Bo-Katan?
No, she's really good.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
So moving on to number 34 on our list. Din Djarin. Mando.
I mean,
Mando on the
Aura.
list. Mando on the list without Grogu.
I think he's a significantly better character than Grogu. He has a very good
Problem with
story arc.
Grogu.
He's gonna
Problem,
continue to just absolutely aura farm.
problem with Grogu, dude, is doesn't talk. Kind of just like an object to everybody at this point, which is kind of fucked up.
I think if we might be on some like real like 40-year-old like women hating, by the way, too, by not including Grogu. But like I think his character is way overliked because he's a cute little fucking goblin fucking frog. And I'm like,
Goblin fucking frog. That's
yeah, and
crazy.
he's throwing up fucking blue macaroons and shit. I don't even know where it got. I've never seen a single food item look like that in Star Wars until then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Somebody on set just had macaroons and was like, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
it, we're throwing
Yeah,
it on
give him that shit.
there. Yeah. But yeah, Din Djarin, dude, aura farming like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
The background of him being a foundling and shit like that, like awesome. I love all the Mandalorian stuff. And the Mandalorians like basically being at zero at this point. And Mando being so significant in that time period. I love it.
Yeah, dude. I
And
mean,
then
like,
obviously
he absolutely like when his first set of armor fucking sucks. When they came out with this full Beskar outfit, I'm like that immediately jumped to probably a top 5 costume in Star Wars.
it's fucking awesome.
It's
Top
fucking
tier.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Top tier.
like minimalistic perfection of just warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
All right, number 33 on our list. Those are wild
That's so
back to
funny.
back.
C3 PO is 33. Um,
Funny back to back.
yeah,
Gold on top of silver.
C3PO is weird because he's a good character. I don't hate C3PO, but he also does nothing important for the most part. He kind of is just there. I will say, C3PO, the picture of C3PO with his actor who shoved a cigarette through his mouth hole on a break, that picture has crazy war. We should have
I don't
used that picture.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
What? So yeah, there was a funny thing. I don't remember which movie they were doing, but C3PO's actor wanted a break for a minute, and so in that little gap that actually leads straight into his mouth, there's a picture where they shoved a cigarette and lit it to where he could smoke a cigarette while on break, but still be in costume.
That's disgusting. You blow out the smoke just through the hole.
Yeah, I could imagine it probably got everywhere, but
uh,
um,
C3PO having significance, like being in everything and being a part of everything, having his own moments in the Clone Wars, being involved with every major thing is what C3PO does. That's why he's this high on the list.
yeah, and I mean,
And he's the Ewoks fucking god.
yeah, he's one of those characters that like he in a way makes R2 and so I guess we'll get to that, but he makes R2 an even better character because
Yeah.
R2 could just make the noises he makes and it's already funny and entertaining. Adding C3PO commentary to like confirm like the rhythm and noise that of what he makes is just hilarious.
Yeah. And then their relationship is hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
Them getting sad over each other, them like hating each other, but like
Yeah,
loving
dude,
each other at the same time.
I couldn't imagine if they took one of these dudes down. The sadness out of a robot and the sadness of a guy sitting right here would be absolutely crazy. Like I don't even know what I don't even know what I would do if they knocked like dude. I don't even want to talk about the movies that we shall not name. But when R2's powered down and C3PO's like, you'll be all right, buddy. We'll figure it out. I was like, yeah, we can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving on to number 32. Padme. Number 32.
Strictly off of. No, I'm not gonna say that. This was basically picked due to her outfits in episode 2.
No,
um,
for real though, phenomenal, like written senator, like phenomenal.
yeah.
Um,
Do we want to talk about? I don't know if we've ever said it on podcasts. Do we want to talk about what we talked about earlier about Padme?
no, let's just
Shouldn't?
keep it at that.
Should? Okay.
No, no,
Because like I don't know if it would be. It probably isn't a hot take, but it's like kind of a hot take about.
it's a hot take. It's
I
a
don't
hot
know if
take.
we're talking about the same thing.
Okay, maybe not then.
We either are definitely talking about the same thing, or we're not at all.
Nah, screw it. Just say it. What do you got?
I like hot take, and you can give me flack for it. Her acting sucks.
Um,
Okay, it doesn't. It's not her because in other movies she's fantastic, but
we definitely
oh
talked about this before because we've talked about Hayden Christensen a lot,
yeah, and I
and
want to say that if you think that Hayden was a bad actor in episode 2 and episode 3, she's a terrible actor in episode 2 and episodes 3.
dude, the scene that
Oh,
gets me.
Annie.
This the scene that gets me the most is in the third movie when she's talking to Obi-Wan. And she's just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he would do this." Like, and killed younglings and all this shit. Like, even in the scene on Mustafar, like, she was
No!
like bringing that she was kind of bringing that down. Um,
Yeah, dude, it was two dudes horror farming over a dead bitch. Who gave a fuck? um,
um, character wise, there's nothing wrong with the character.
no, she's a great
Um,
character. A really good character of a not annoying character. That was I can't say that. Her character. It was very impressive. I don't know how to say this without sounding fucked up because it it's because of when this movie came out. Her being a leader in those movies and what she did in her being a forefront of what was happening in the Galactic Republic was empowering. I don't know any other way to say that without it being more or less fucked up. But
I mean, it's not what you're saying is not fucked up. It's
yeah,
just
but
that,
the way I'm saying it and how it sounds in my head, I'm like, I sound like a fucking piece of shit. She was an empowering character, and I think she should be looked at as like an icon of empowered women in movies.
yeah, I
Now,
agree.
I think the end of Revenge of the Sith puts her as a damsel in distress. But every other part, episodes 1, 2, and 3, fantastic like show of empowering women. And the person
All the
next to
Clone
her
Wars
is
too.
Leia.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say this. God, I hate how they say there isn't good representation of women in Star Wars because there is very good. Now, I do think a lot of that is encapsulated into like 5 people, but those 5 characters are fantastic characters.
they're heavily weighted too.
Um, yes, and she is great, but some of her independent acting scenes where her and Hayden are having alone time, and her and Obi-Wan. I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know about that.
But then even just on top of that, like the characters we put in front of her are better characters.
Yes.
And that's what it comes down to. Like, yeah, Padme is a very empowering character, empowering woman in Star Wars. But at the end of the day, like, throw the acting and stuff away. Who cares about that, dude? We're talking about the characters.
Yeah.
There is 31 better characters than Padme.
Yeah. And I don't even want to hear the
Speaking of
argument.
that,
There's a comfortable 20 no matter what anybody tells me.
yeah,
Maybe
comfortable 20
25.
for sure. So moving on, number 31 on this list. We have Hunter.
That's such a weird back to back.
That is a weird back to
My
back.
back to back
But
immediately goes to a fake character. Or like an animated character.
yeah, we have a yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when Rambo was announced in Star Wars, I was hyped. He's a
Yeah.
fire character.
I Hunter is my favorite Bad Batch character. I
He
do
is my
think
second favorite.
I do think one of them was written better, which we may or may not talk about here soon. But love Hunter, love his instincts, love his combat skills, love what he stands for, love all of it.
The
Love what he looks
dagger,
like.
the
Dagger.
ninja headband. Like he
Yep,
dude.
all of it.
Talk about a guy that I'm picking for everything. Like he's a one-of-one pick for a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah,
honestly underused.
kind of. And what's crazy, that's what I was telling you when we made this list. Like, because you were surprised with how far ahead I wanted to put another character. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, he is the leader, the main one, and he's not the best written character in the show.
I agree with you with that, but I think
Yeah,
the difference is that he is such a likable and he's the best of the. He is the most noteworthy of the Bad Batch on like a flat like if you like a
yeah,
flat surface, he's the leader of the Bad Batch. He probably has the coolest Bad Batch esque to him with his senses and stuff like that. Probably the up there. He's a top 2 of the coolest looking. Probably number 1 in aura, honestly. But I like you said, we're gonna We may or may not get to another Bad Batch character that I think is right behind him and all of that, and has a better story, like you said.
Yeah.
So,
So that being said, moving to number 30 on our list, we have Kit
Kit Fisto.
Fisto.
This picture is the definition of
Of Oro
aura.
farming.
When
I was
he
just
did this shit, dude, I was like, yo, fuck everything. He came out in this formation, and I was like, someone's dying. And it ain't Kid Fisto.
yeah. He just watched his Padawan that just became a Jedi Knight die, um, and stood his fucking ground to an absolute menace to society. Stood his ground. Um,
Like,
yeah.
if his next words were, I'm a Jedi Master, and you're about to catch these hands, I would be like, yeah, dude, I'm catching these hands.
Catch these hands. It's crazy. Yeah.
He
Kit
literally,
Fisto.
he looked at the abomination of death and was like, you know what? Let's fucking go. Just let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Now these are some tendrils, by the way. These are some fire tendrils. This is a dope character design. Well, you know what sucks? They do my boy dirty in live action. They make him like
Well,
fat.
to make him chunky.
Yeah, they make him like, and I understand he has to fit a certain build, but like, yeah, they did him dirty in live action.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also
Crazy.
want
He
to
also
say,
just like
if you've never seen the Clone Wars, you don't know any background about Kit Fisto. Please do not judge this character based off of the fight in the third movie. It should really show you how much more powerful Mace Windu and Darth Sidious are compared to everyone else around them.
right.
That was not Kit Fisto's fault.
And then at the same time, Kit Fisto in the novelization of Revenge of the Sith realized that he was outmatched and he was going to be in the way more than anything. And there was a blow coming for Mace Windu that Mace Windu probably would have been able to stop himself, but he kind of threw himself in front of it to make sure that Mace Windu got to get to a better advantage point in this fight. Because does you see the little scene? He gets cut down. Mace Windu's kind of like trailing to get to a better room, a better situation. So he kind of gives up his life for Mace Windu because he knew Mace Windu needed to be in this fight by himself.
Yeah.
And then the Clone Wars arcs we get like with the Mon Calamari. Yeah, great arc. All the stuff underwater, fantastic. Love it. Yeah. Then just like you said, definition of aura farming right there. This picture right here. If you know, you know. If you don't, go watch the Clone Wars. I don't know how many times we gotta say. Just go watch it. All right, number 29. We have Cal Kestis.
So I'm feeling people are going to be really mad or really mad about this, and I think it could go either way. Really mad that he's on here, and really mad he's not. He's this low. Kit Fisto and Cal Kestis were a toss-up. I let Jordan decide. I probably had Kit Fisto ahead, but obviously everyone knows my issue with it. Whatever, doesn't matter.
So I will say this: Kit Fisto in the story that we have, I think has more weight. But with what we have in canon, because Cal's games are canon, with what we have story-wise, Cal Kestis being 9 years old during Order 66, watching his master die, unlocking an ability that he has no clue that he was able to do to survive Order 66, and then make it through where he is to the point currently in his games. Phenomenal story. Phenomenally written. His only knock is that he has no weight on the story. No weight at all. Currently. Yes, he's fought Darth Vader. He got his ass kicked by Darth Vader.
And that didn't mean shit.
Yeah. Like, but how he's written, how he's a part of the story, they're talking about bringing him into live action. I don't know how they're going to do that, what they mean by that, how much weight he can hold with that. But between games 1 and 2, the significant power that he's gained and is just developing as a character. He has a whole nother game coming out, plus being in live action, probably. Phenomenal actor. I think he does a great job in the games. I think he'd be really great in live action. It'd be really stupid to not cast the same guy to play him. That'd be insane to me. But also BD1. Shout out BD1. Did not make this list, sadly. But BD1 is a really good droid, and I love him in the games as well. Him and Cal together are awesome.
Yeah,
But
and like obviously I don't have a lot of weight when it comes to Cal or a lot to say, but one thing with Cal that I do think I think that it's weird that Cal where Cal is, at least in my mind, just because I think he would be a very valuable tool to the rebellion, and to an extent, like there he will never be part of it unless they thrust him into it, and it's just he dies in the process. It's a weird thing. I think his ability to stop time is absolutely broken. There's only a few characters that we ever even get to see, and honestly, like, if I'm thinking about it in my head, I don't know if any of them are even canon. So,
there is two canon characters that are able to use it that we see is Yoda and Kylo Ren.
and I will
Yoda's
say, Kylo's is not as good as Cal's.
no.
And
I
good.
So I got into a real debate about this with one of my friends, and it was like Cal's ability to stop time versus Kylo Ren being able to stop that blaster bolt in the seventh movie. Which one's better? That's the same ability, by the way. Which one's better? And it came down to which one. It kind of is opinionated at this point, to be honest, because it kind of just depends on how you look at it. Cal can stop a room of people, a room of stormtroopers, versus Kylo Ren stopping the blaster bolt. Is it more impressive that Kylo can stop the individual blaster bolt, or is it more impressive that Cal could stop all the blaster bolts and like 15 stormtroopers at the same time to get into the escape pod to survive Order 66 at 9 years old? Which one's more impressive?
I mean,
I
I don't know what numbers you use, but that sounded pretty obvious to me.
Yeah,
And
and
I will
I
say,
think
okay.
no, you're good.
Well, I was gonna kind of not change the subject, but change it to a different
Oh, you're good.
for a sec. So, I will say the best example of this ability is actually Legends Luke, which
Yeah.
sucks, but fuck. Um, Legends Luke has this ability, and he can do both, and he could do it better than both of them.
Well, we're
Luke can
talking
literally
about
like walk through an entire room, and no one even know he walked through it.
Luke can create a black hole in Legends and throw it at somebody. So,
Yeah.
what are we talking about? But
I,
I think Cal, as a canon, from a canon perspective, is very slept on. And if he was a part of the story, I think he could be a lot of significant value. But I don't know how they're going to do it. He's currently in a different fucking galaxy, which is probably how they're going to cross him over with the Ahsoka series because he's in a different galaxy. So maybe that's how they get intertwined.
what if Cal
Kind of
just
just they're just
became
gonna.
a bad guy?
He didn't become a bad guy.
I'm saying, what if he does? What if he
Oh,
gets possessed by the mother?
so fun fact: you didn't play the games. In the second game, the last thing that you get to do to defeat your ex best friend that decided to go against you in the end was to quote unquote from the game embrace the dark side. Cal embraces the dark side to be able to beat his friend in the final like scene of the game, basically. So he's touching darkness. Now, I do think that Cal is the character to not fall to the dark side based on how it went about in the game, but technically he did touch darkness in the game. So there is that to consider in moving forward. So like also we have an unfinished character as well. Like 29 is such a weird spot for Cal because it could be low. It could be fucking high. I don't fucking know. um, but like the biggest thing at the end of the day for him being at 29 versus like 20 or even better is no weight to the story so far whatsoever. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But I do think him as an individual character, an original character made by Disney, phenomenally written character so far. And I think that has a lot of weight in individual characters in Star Wars. So we were on Cal for a minute. So let's move on to 28. Commander Cody at number 28. What a different ass character, comparatively speaking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Commander Cody is just he started the aura of the Phase Two helmets.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like I mean, I would say his probably his best scene is the scenes on Utapau and him shooting down Obi-Wan, which is such a
Yeah.
it just shows you the crazy flip of how the inhibitor chips work, and I think he's probably one of the best examples, definitely in like live action. um, yeah, dude, he's such a good character, kind of slept on. He kind of played the little brother to a different character who may or may not be on here in a little bit. But yeah,
What did it for me for Cody is when they bring him back in the Bad Batch and he kind of realizes what happened. Like him kind of coming down from the inhibitor chip and like realizing what's going on around him to all the clones, to the whole like the Empire becoming the Republic. And I love that. I love that so much that they brought that back so we could see it.
mm-hmm.
And that did a lot for Cody for me because growing up, like, let's be real, I was not like, I was not on the Cody train. He kind of got like overshadowed, like you said. But I have a lot of appreciation for Cody. He was in live action, unlike somebody else, until
Oh,
recently.
oh, well, I
Until,
say he is now.
until recently. But, well, technically, he was before any clones, if you want to
Yeah.
count the going back and changing that. But whatever. Anyways, we'll get to that later. Um, yeah, so much appreciation for Cody. Loved him.
Yeah, and
Like I said, the Bad Batch for me did it for me.
yeah, and I would love to see the end of him at some point, like what ends up happening.
Yeah, he. If I remember correctly, he kind of just walks away at the end of the day.
Yeah, and like it's weird because they never really talk about because he's obviously not in that crew that's in the rebels, so like they don't ever really talk about what happens to Cody. I would love to hear the end of that, but
Right.
27
27. Got fives.
fives. Yes, these two were thrown back and forth, but I think ultimately Fives has a specific couple episodes that make him a very standout clone in the Clone Wars. And
I also just think watching him come from the Domino Squad and him
yep.
going up the ranks on the 501st to being one in command of the clones, like alongside Rex. Obviously, he's like under Rex still, but like alongside Rex, leading these clones in the 501st, phenomenal. The arc that you brought up about the inhibitor chips and him figuring out what's going on. He confronts Darth Sidious, and Darth Sidious kind of reveals himself to him, as far as we know. And
Mm,
seeing him not get any of that information out, so sad. He was so close. He got to Anakin. He got to Rex. He almost did it, but
yeah,
unfortunately, at the end of the day, he did not.
and I kind of mentioned this earlier, and like I said, like it's kind of weird that we see this buildup of these Jedi who like want to give the clones personality and call them by their like new names for lack of better term, and like they call them Fives, they call them Heavy, they call them Rex and Cody, and it's kind of it's this weird experience where in this specific case, like when these clones all think that they can trust the Jedi and the Republic completely, he kind of gets turned down by everybody, and not listened to well enough and treated a like he
Like a
committed
number,
treason.
like a number.
Treating him like a number again. And we see this later on with Ahsoka too, where they go so out of their way because they're blinded by the idea of the Republic and its leaders. And it sucks because the Jedi will get blamed for everything that happens when it really never was their fault. But at the same time, there are things that they did along the way that kind of make you want to hold it against them. And this is
Yeah.
definitely one of them. And
So
specifically, this one goes on Anakin a little bit too.
a little bit, but at the same time, kind of not really. It was the other clone troopers that just said, "Nah, fuck this dude. He's gonna do something."
Well,
But
I mean, that's the thing though, is that they kind
the
of knew, and
problem,
then that like straight into Anakin, where Anakin gets to see it happen more than anybody does, and still like never recollects that Fives was the one that was like, dude, this is gonna happen. So
yeah, I wonder
it's
if he.
interesting because that's never ever talked about. I would love
No,
to
it's not.
have like a book or a comic that if Anakin ever did think about it and
Would
what
be
he
Darth
thought.
Vader thinking about all of his things that he did wrong because Darth Vader did that constantly. And it's like, did he ever sit down and think about how Fives damn near fucking told him what was going to happen? I wonder if he's ever thought that. That's good. It's a good thing to bring up. So moving on from here, we have number 26 on our list. We're almost halfway there. Got a job of the Hut. Dude, the Hut family, absurd.
Yeah.
Some of the most crime boss ass motherfuckers you're ever gonna meet. Insane. Because all these motherfuckers, they can't move, can't do shit. But by God, their
Well,
fucking money.
they can
Well,
move until their money makes them too fat to be able to move.
yes, their money and their fucking like low key aura, low key that they have around being a Hut. We're part of the Hut clan. The Hut this, the Hut that. We're in charge of you motherfuckers. And we have the money to do whatever we want. Insane.
Yeah, dude. He
But
and he's. I think while making this, I thought he would end up lower, and it's weird because like he holds so much weight going from
yeah,
obviously the first movie to the jumping to the fourth, fifth, and sixth, and he actually is in the story more than what people realize he is,
yeah,
and
throughout the Clone Wars as well, the Huts and everything. You got Zero the Hut. All these
and then
characters that mean so much.
Rada.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Before we move to 25, we're actually gonna call it quits here, and we're going to be making this a part one of a part two episode. Um, this went on way longer than we thought it was going to.
I
Honestly,
remember it was like number 49, I think you said. Yeah, we're gonna start going faster with these. And then I was just sitting there and we were at like 37 and I was like, no, we're not.
well, I mean, and we did the first three. We had been talking for like 28 minutes, and I was like, oh. um, yeah. So we're going to be making this a part two. Um, so you'll see this obviously a week when this comes out, and then you'll see the next one the week after. So as of right now, 50 through 26. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know your thoughts. Love you guys. Got anything else?
Like, subscribe. Get ready for the next part.
It's been My Trick Media. Thank you.